Hello, welcome to my Dreamcast. This is episode 4, Vehicles and Stuff. So, last night I had this dream, and, surprisingly, I remember a very large part of this dream. Even the part that happened, after I woke up and went back to bed for a little bit. So, I'll have plenty of details to give, which is it's pretty nice. So, the dream starts out, or the earliest that I can remember in the dream is I'm at this it's like a 4-car garage, and there's a guy there. He's like a mechanic or something, and out front the garage is a 4-lane highway, just out there, and I have the car that I drive. I'm in there, and for whatever reason I'm sideways in the garage, so you have this 4 cars, right, and I'm like this. So I'm sitting in the garage, and the mechanic guy, he's like, "Okay, man, toodles," and he leaves, and I decide, okay, I'm gonna back out, because that's a good idea. And I back out and I look, and there's the wall right here, because my car is sideways in the garage, and I look over, and the wall is right in my face, right here to my face, and I'm like, oh crap, I think I'm gonna hit the wall. And immediately I hear the crunch, and I'm like, damn. Well, it probably wasn't even that bad, and I was lined up to go out of the garage anyways, so I start driving towards the 4-lane highway so that I can leave, and go at least somewhere else. But no, because I heard scraping, because the less than 1 mile an hour bump against the garage was enough to just absolutely demolish that right rear corner of my car. So I get out, and I'm looking at it, and then the mechanic guy, he comes back on the 4-lane highway, and he's in, I think it was a 90s Chevy Silverado, if they made those in the 90s. It was box truck, 4 doors, and it was convertible, and it was yellow and orange, and he comes by, and he's like, "You gonna fix that?" Just, I don't even remember what he said. I just know that he was like, blah, 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 and I'm like, whatever, it's fine, it's whatever, I don't care. So I pull my car back into the parking lot of the garage. It's supposed to be a mechanic thing, and I'm getting parts to fix this thing, and what I'm trying to find is stuff to get the bumper to go from scraping against the ground and to not, and I decided I don't want zip ties, I don't want tape, I want to get these random nuts and bolts, which I went over to the toolbox to find the nuts and bolts. None of them fit. None of them matched each other. I think this must have been my dad's toolbox, because none of the stuff fit with itself, and none of the stuff was working for what I needed it to do. So I'm getting frustrated, and then I find this little thing. I remember this specifically, that it was a little, it's kind of like this. So imagine this doesn't have the cross thing, but basically it's this little part right here, but this itty bitty part is threaded with a little ring of non-threaded right here. And what you're supposed to do, glad you asked, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have these like red gears, and they're like little itty bitty saw blades, and they're threaded in the middle, and you thread them onto here, and then the top one goes in and you poke it through the hole, and then there's the bottom one, and they're like this big, and they're red little saw blades, not serrations, threaded in the middle, and then you clamp it together. And that's what I did to hold on one of the parts of my car. A lot of the rest of my car just fell apart as well as I was trying to fix it, because somebody just came by with a hammer, I guess. I don't know why the damage extremified, like genuinely. But anyways, that was happening, and I was trying to fix my car and stuff. Nuts and bolts ain't working, ain't fitting together, because why in the world would they? And then, yeah, eventually that part of the dream kind of just moved on, and I went to being on like a biking trip with my old, I think it was with my old mountain biking team, and we weren't mountain biking, and I wasn't on a mountain bike. I was on a purple BMX bike with no gears, just the fixed gear, you know. We all love that, we know. Just with the fixed gear, and everybody else was on mountain bikes, because why in the world would they be riding a BMX for a long distance? The world may never know. Sometimes I ask myself that. But we were riding on the paved path, and it was like a long distance ride. It was just like, we used to do those just to get our volume in when it would rain on our normal trails. But I was riding down the path, and it's supposed to be paved, but it just turned into like dirt. And I was at the front of the pack because obviously, you know, I'm just that cool, I guess. And so I was going around this trail, and according to everybody else that came after me, it was like super rooty and difficult, but I don't even remember what the trail was like, because I experienced it from a third-person view. I saw like the trail that I took, but I didn't experience, like in the dream, I didn't even experience going down the trail. I just knew I went down the trail. But at the very end of it, there was an alternate path that you could take with jumps. Ooh, jumps. And I remember in the dream, I think my coaches, it was supposed to be, they were like, "You don't do no jumps." Says the fuck you guy, whose was actually my coach. So I didn't listen to my coach, and I went down the jump trail, and the jumps were like pretty awfully made. They were really stubby, and you know how a jump's supposed to look like that. They looked like that, but like pretty much like that. So yeah, they were pretty awful, and I honestly don't remember getting enough speed to go off of any of the jumps either, because the trail was completely flat, and it was super short. Like, I think it could fit on this porch that I'm sitting on right now. And it was just, you're going down the regular trail, and this is the direction that the jump trail is going. You're supposed to do almost a U-turn, and then the trail goes like this, and it goes right back. And the jumps are barely even jumps. They're like little humps of dirt that you're supposed to just like over, you know? And it was an embarrassment of a jump trail, but it's whatever, because after that, I was like talking to actually my brother. He came over to me and he was like, dude, I can't believe you got through that trail on a fixed gear bike. Like, that's so crazy, dude. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just that cool. And then all of the sudden, I think it might have been the same exact garage as from earlier in the dream, but I'm up like on, I don't know, I'm like on the second floor of the garage apparently, and I'm like it's like a railing, a little platform on the second floor, and I'm looking over the railing, and my brother, same exact brother that was like, oh my god, dude, that mountain biking was totally great. That same dude, he's got this red four-wheeler. I think it was supposed to be his old one. He used to have like this red Honda. It might not have been his, but it was a red Honda TRX 250. And if you know like four-wheelers and like bog stuff and stuff, you know, like the mud shields, or I don't even know what they're called, but there was like a little mud shield on the front as well, and he was just riding it around in the garage, but not in any normal way. Also, important note, I knew in the dream that this four-wheeler was also a one-gear four-wheeler, like my bike, because they make four-wheelers like that, you know? Didn't you know? Didn't you know that they make four-wheelers with only one gear? Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard? So he's driving this around, and okay, imagine this is the wall of the garage. This is my brother on his four-wheeler. That's what he's doing. He's like bumping against the wall, like backing up a little bit, and then just like very slowly running up and bumping against the wall again. It was the weirdest thing that I've ever like actually seen. And you know, not to interrupt the story or anything, but it then goes to another part of the dream where I'm like I think I was like a Roblox avatar in this part of the dream, and I'm on like this wooden boardwalk, and it's all misty around, and it's like in a bog, and yeah, it's like purple mist. It's all creepy and stuff. And there's the boardwalk that I'm standing on, and then there's a boardwalk going this way that I'm facing down, and that boardwalk leads to a bigger platform with two little guys on it. So if I remember correctly, I walked down the platform to like check these guys out, see what they're all about, you know what I'm saying? And then one of the dudes, if you know Zelda, like Tears of the Kingdom, this one dude was the marbled Goma from that game. And the other dude, I'm pretty sure he was like a less lame version of the Muk Turok. And they were just like, rah, I'ma kill you, goodbye. Bam! And then they just like fucking killed me. And I fell apart like Roblox style. And then I respawned off, like if you're looking like from where I was, like where I started before I went onto the platform with like the fuck you, kill you guys, then I would be off to the right side, and I was on like a completely different platform, and I'm like standing there and I'm like looking at these guys, and this like I'm not gonna lie, Marble Goma, when you're like looking at him and he's not on a game screen, the dude is huge mungus, and he's very scary, and I don't know, it was very scary, and I was like fearing for my life because these guys have already killed me, you know, and the Muktarok, I should describe him. The Muktarok, he was like, imagine if it was like edgy black mist ghost mixed with Muktarok, you know, like really creepy guy. But he literally did nothing, so I don't know how valid it would have been to be scared of him, because he sat there and watched the Marbled Goma dude just rock my shit. But yeah, they noticed me after like 2.5 seconds, and they're like, "Rah, I'm gonna kill you again." And Marbled Goma dude, he takes one of his legs, he just throws it at me. Like, I think I got shot by an arrow the first time that I died, and then the second time it was just Marbled Goma leg to the forehead, you know, and you know, really sucked, because that's when I like woke up. I couldn't even get a second crack at him, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I really could have taken him on if I had a second chance. Just if coach would have put me in that third quarter, we would have had state. But anyways, that's when I woke up, and that was the end of the dream. I think, man, I don't know what any of this really actually means, I'm gonna be honest, but I will say that, like, my brother showing up in my dreams, I really do love seeing him in my dreams, because it's always nice to see somebody who isn't in your life anymore, like, and be able to talk to them and interact with them. It really, like, I really love being able to do that, even as periodically and unconsciously as it is, you know? And also, I mean, it was fun to be on a bike again, even if the riding was subpar and it wasn't on a mountain bike. And I'll give the dream mountain biking paths, and especially the jump pad, I'll give those a pass, because they were in my dream and they don't know what they're doing for real. But yeah, it was a fun dream. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, that's basically it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next